advocating for my product. There's too much red tape. Whatever you do for your own brand, because if you don't say anything, then nobody knows you're thinking it. Communicate your thoughts on our space. Because when the people above you get fired because they suck and they didn't use this and they're going to lose, make sure the new people coming in have some content that you saw it, you just couldn't make it happen. It's a huge thing for people to do on a corporate level. But I really didn't want to talk that much. I want to do a lot of Q&A. I'll stand here until there's no more questions left. Please ask me any question. If it's about social media, wine, the New York Jets, whatever you want, fire away. T-shirts is good too. Fire away.
What's your favorite $5 wine?
My favorite $5 wine is a wine called Morgato from Portugal. Morgato Fonte. 5 bones, fucking the brushes, most $25 wine.
Hey Gary, a lot of people are talking.
What's your name, sir?
My name's Todd.
Who's Todd?
A lot of people are talking about branded social applications being the next big thing in advertising.
I think people have to understand what advertisers want. They want eyeballs. So I think anything that has eyeballs is monetizable. In my opinion, if you have 2,500 unique people a day coming to whatever you're doing, you should be making bank. You should be able to live off of that. I really fundamentally believe that. Yes, I know it sounds very
I have that.
2,500 unique a day to me is very monetizable. The problem is a lot of people don't position themselves to monetize. And that's what I get. Wow. That's what I talk to people about. If you don't position yourself, if you don't redesign your website, and most of all, if you don't go after people. I mean, for me, I did a case study for myself when I had about 4,000 uniques for my show and met with a very famous wine glass company and showed them all the numbers and talked to them about what they did in the Wine Spectator for $70,000 a month and all this other bullshit. And at the end of the meeting, and I didn't want to take it because, I didn't take it because I've got other monetizing things going on and there's a lot of different discussions with television going on at the time, but at that point, he offered me $2,700 an episode. That's, I do 5 episodes a day. That's real money. Now, that's because it's niche. Now, again, you might talk about technology. A lot of you do. That's not as niche, and that gets harder. That 2,500 might be tougher. So it is individual. But how many people here consider themselves, when they blog, they talk about social media, technology, that kind of whole stuff? Raise your hand.
I do. A lot.
Real high. I want to see everybody do this.
Right.
Every person that has their hand in the air, if you're not leaving... If you're not leaving a seismic video reply to every TechCrunch post every single day, you are a clown. It is a massive center network. Thank you. Sorry, my friend. But honestly, not Mashable. Sorry. But listen, I'm telling you what I saw because that's where it was launched first. What I saw. These are places where you can build equity. The problem is people stay within their own cocoon. You need to go out and work the community. When Wine Library TV had no viewers, the way I got them was by leaving content on other wine blogs. Even ones that were ranked 11 million on Alexa.
Oh, no.
Yes, you go to them all because you don't know where your opportunity is going to be. People look at numbers too much. Everybody gets caught up way too much in how many people are on their RSS or how many uniques they had in a day. You've got to build. You've got to build.
If you had to hear of all the top management at these brands, they have
like Pepsi,
like on and balance, Pepsi, I call it 25%. Okay, so what would you say to them? What do you think?
Can you repeat the question?
The question is, if I had the ear, and when I do talk to some of them, these big brands, what would I tell them about the space? Is that right? The social media space.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, here's their problem. Here's the problem for Green Mountain Coffee and for Pepsi and for Budweiser and the vodka brand I talked to yesterday. They don't think there's enough people. And they're right. The most followed person on Twitter is Obama, and he has, 100,000 people following him?
Obama.
Okay? There you go. so, right? They don't think there's enough people. does have a money value, but not like the bullshit money they spend by like, who are those assholes that put that thing on that phone booth right there? You know what? A lot more than if you really care about your music. So what I tell them is this: you need to immerse yourself in this space, because a lot of the people in 2009 that do move the market are paying attention to this market, and it's a trickle down, and the cost is so minimal that there's no value in not doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I tell them.
Gary,
Yeah.
what do you say to the people that say that Twitter actually degrades the English language and basically makes it a way to not communicating or marketing any longer on Twitter?
Right.
I've never heard that.
So I don't give a shit about the English language. So that's first and foremost.
Whatever.
I think there's no validity to that. I mean, not marketing in an effective way with the English language is the stupidest thing I've ever heard, because most people know that it's visual, it's emotional, you know, it doesn't need to be spelled right to be right.
Gary,
Yo.
If your marketing is coming across in 140 characters, then you're going to
Guys, the problem is everybody thinks about marketing from like, what can I do to catch a splash? It's a game of nutrition. It's a long process. You really have to give a fuck about your users. The people that win really care. They have a true community. And when that original fan base, like for example, my Vaynerchuk originally, they're the ones who build your brand equity. Whatever you do, you have to make sure your user is the happiest son of a bitch on earth, because then you crush. Then they do it for you. You will never have the time. Everybody's always amazed by how much I do, but I'm only one person. It's not scalable. I'm trying to make unscalable things. I made a Facebook app the day apps came out called Ask Gary. You ask me a why question, I fucking answer it. That went for about 2 days until I got 900 questions an hour. I mean, it's not scalable, but if you build passionate users and you really give a shit about them, then that's the marketing. The marketing is, see, what you have to understand is nothing's changed except word of mouth. Word of mouth is what's changed. The biggest fucking yenta on the Upper East Side 10 years ago could have told 60 people about your product. Now some clown in Ohio with a Twitter account can tell 4,000 people in one shot. Word of mouth has changed. And if your shit is on point and people are passionate about your product, that's what's going to explode. They can keep it going forever. It's that tail. Yes.
What about a business model that's not relying on content, but is a platform in and of itself?
A business model not relying on content, but is a business model.
It's a platform in and of itself.
Give me the example.
I'm in the process of building a platform that's called Democracy.
Democracy.
Basically, a customer service platform for government. We're trying to like get satisfaction.
So get satisfaction for government.
With idea incubation that actually creates legislation.
Okay? It's the same game. When you launch that product, it's an app. It's a web app. So the early users, you need to listen to them. So when they're like, oh, I don't like the submit button because it's pink, you listen to that shit. You know, or whatever it is. And then the other game is the outreach. You know, I live on Huffington Post and shit like that. Just building up your street cred, not spamming and linking your shit, just getting your name out there. When I left all those comments on the reply blog, all it said was Gary Vaynerchuk. That's it. My name linked back to my video blog, but I never left a link in a comment. Now, a lot of people who are in the SEO game think it's important. I don't. I think it hurts you. I think it shows what your intentions are. Instead of adding to the community, you're trying to suck out. What I would do is be you or somebody else be a face of this product, live and breathe every politics blog on the internet, and build up that name equity, and they see your quality responses and thoughts, and then they click your name, they find your site, and then when you get them into your house, you treat them like guests.
Well,